Give you a multitude of ways to remind yourself and others about the great sport of truck and tractor pulling all year long. Reporting for the NTPA on the Overnight Drive, I'm John Dunlap. Stay safe and pull hard.
All right, I believe we are back. We were talking to Sergeant MacGyver there, and I thought we lost signal on the phone lines, but we lost signal on everything. After a few phone calls, it wasn't just me. It was like, it was the service provider. Everything was down. In other words, cable out, internet out. They got it back up and running, so I had to go through the process of restarting everything. I know I got several emails here, so I appreciate the app not working. Thank you, Eskimo Mom. Thank you, Pappy. I lost you on Facebook. Lost you on Rumble. Yeah, everything was down. So I'm not sure exactly what all would be reconnected now. I know the app should be back up and running because I can see that. And some of the listeners that tuned out maybe had to restart their systems. But so, due to circumstances beyond our control, that's the first time that's happened in quite some time. And it's not the kind of thing like if you have a power outage. We've got the battery backups that would keep us on the air, briefly anyway. Those batteries are supposed to be able to last, I forget how many hours, but when we actually did lose power, about 30 minutes in, and they're about sucked dry because we got so much running on them. So, all right, so we get back to business here, and let me see. I was mentioning Heat Waves Company earlier, and if somebody wants to give us a dial up because we lost all the phones, I've got things reconnected at 844-844-3388. The credit ratings for less than truckload carrier Yellow Corporation have been lowered further by Moody's Investors Service. Earlier this week, downgrading the carrier's corporate family rating from a B3 to a CAA1. Now, what does that mean? It's Greek to me. Obligations rated CAA are judged to be speculative of poor standing, and are subject to very high credit risk. Downgrades were also made to Yellow's default probability rating and its speculative grade liquidity rating, the latter of which now sits on the lowest rung of Moody's scale. The agency did maintain its stable outlook on Yellow. What does this mean? The downgrade, according to FreightWaves, the downgrade of Yellow's ratings reflects their expectations that delays in implementing the next phase of the One Yellow plan and weaker sector fundamentals will slow the expected improvements in their operating results. It will limit liquidity and increase uncertainty regarding the company's ability to successfully address their 2024 debt maturities. They've been executing a multi-year overhaul dubbed One Yellow, as you know, which includes consolidating the regional operating companies, realigning the management teams, consolidating the sales force onto the same technical and operating platforms. Now, last year, they did implement a change of operations to consolidate YRC Freight and the Reddaway terminals out west. This recent attempt, which would consolidate the Holland, New Penn, with YRC terminals in the east, central, and southern regions, is now facing strong opposition from the union, as the two parties have agreed to renegotiate their labor contract a year ahead of schedule. Now, Yellow recently reported operating and net losses for the first quarter of the year. posted a 100.8% operating ratio as revenue fell 7% year over year. Shipments declined 13%. And that was partially offset by a 5% increase in revenue per shipment, excluding fuel surcharges. But the Moody's report pointed to refinancing risk as justification for the downgrades. The CAA1, which is corporate family rating, reflects there's significant refinancing risk when the debt maturities come in 24. Thin operating margins, weak interest coverage, and moderately high financial leverage. Now, the stable outlook for Yellow, issuing that they expect a delayed but successful, ultimately, implementation of the One Yellow strategy, which would result in improved operating margin, more efficient utilization of the network. Yellow has one debt covenant: adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation of at least $200 million over the last 12 months. It again met that threshold for the first quarter. However, they generated just $89 million in adjusted EBITDA over the last 6 months, meaning they've got some ground to make up. Now, typically, where their anticipation is second and third quarters typically see stronger freight demand than the first quarter. Seasonally, so far this year, 2023 has been kind of muted, though. All right, Yellow. All right, back up and running. Thank you very much. Loud and clear. All right, thank you. Got the thumbs up from Pappy, Wheelchair Dave. Glad you're okay. No heart attack. No. It is 844-844-3388. I've done that more than once, haven't I? Yeah, well, matter of fact, yesterday, I didn't even mention it last night on the program, but last night was my fasting night. Nothing but water because, as I mentioned about a week ago, I had my routine physical scheduled, and that turned out to be, that was yesterday, so didn't have anything to eat, nothing but water since from like 1 o'clock in the morning till my doctor's appointment, but everything looked good at the doctor's appointment. Blood pressure was great. Had a little chat about, flip-flop heart rhythms, and he explained what that was all about. No big concern there. And, what else? Took the blood work, so it'll be a day or two before we get that all back. But only thing he was really kind of concerned about was, I thought I gave you a prescription to get that colonoscopy about a year ago. I said, yeah, you did. Are they still doing that where you got to drink a gallon jug of crap? And of course, he said, well, different doctors, there's different regimens now. Apparently there is something that you don't have to drink nearly the quantity, but he said it tastes even worse than the other stuff. But he said, I'm with you. I said, I'd rather drink a less amount of really bad tasting stuff and chase it down with water than having to drink a whole bunch of fairly nasty tasting stuff. But he's trying to push me into get that colonoscopy done. Okay, thanks, Doc. It is 844-844-3388. Back into.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
diesel fuel cetane levels.
In many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regeneration. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, Fine Farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Jeans aren't one size fits all. Your seats shouldn't be either. That's the idea behind Bostrom's Wide Ride. It's the future of seating comfort. The Wide Ride features a 23-inch wide seat cushion and backrest, flex mat cushion support system, full lever recline, and front and rear cushion tilt on Bostrom's premium suspension system, allowing you to find your perfect fit. Optional features include a seat heater and a new innovative smart seat memory. With the flip of a switch, your seat can be a help and not a hindrance, allowing you to get in and out of your cab with ease. The premium foam is what makes the Wide Ride seat the perfect fit. It's designed to work for drivers of all shapes and sizes, and each seat is custom built right here in the USA. It's the smart seat choice. Go to BostromSeating.com now and find ultimate comfort for the open road with the Wide Ride from Bostrom.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
All righty, back at it, 844-844-3388. Pappy said, I thought maybe the FBI did a sneak drone attack on the secret bunker there. Because everything just disappeared. The Eskimo mom said, hey, you disappeared. The app's down, TNC radio, Facebook, everything quit working, you know. Well, right there when we were so rudely interrupted by Alta Fiber, we were talking to Sergeant MacGyver. Thanks for calling back.
Well, Steve, I apologize. I wasn't trying to get the three-letter agencies on you. That or was it the angry drivers that I was talking about? It's their own fault for these lower rates. I'm sorry, buddy. Wow, that was a trip.
Yeah,
it's a shame to hear about Yellow. Go ahead.
I question, and we've questioned for so long, are they ultimately going to survive? And I don't know. I guess Moody says they think eventually they will be able to pull through it. But man, oh man, they're struggling again.
They seem to run along the same lines, and correct me if I'm wrong, they seem to kind of do the same business, packaging up LTL, doing regional and local. So it seemed like to me they're competing with the FedEx, the Old Dominion, Saia.
Saia.
Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's, and sadly, like you said in the report, they look for the first quarter of the year to be the worst, and they look to make ground in the remaining quarters. And I don't know, have you seen that projection from DAT? Their analysis of the year-over-year rates and their pathetic projection through the rest of this year and 2024?
I don't think I've seen that, no. Are they saying the rates are going to maintain their downward pressure? Have they bottomed out yet, or they think they're going to go further?
It looked like with the chart, and I need to get that chart, and I need to email it to you and let you analyze it. I'm not a smart guy, but it looked like that they were going to bottom out in June and did not look like there was going to be a real increase back up to year over year until June of 2024.
Wow.
And it's really, if you look at that chart, of course, there's lies and damn lies and statistics, but this is not encouraging.
Did they have any projections of how many of these small operations? Because I did share some of the numbers on that last evening. I think it was like 30,000, mostly one truck operations have, I guess, got rid of their authority this year in the first quarter. And that many of those had just joined the industry when things were kicking during the pandemic. And now they can't make it. Did they project how many companies might go out?
Steve, I didn't see that. That's an excellent, excellent question because you're further on top of that than I am. I'll tell you, I'm a rookie. I've only been at this 14 years. couple of friends of mine that's been at it twice as long as me, or much longer anyway, they have told me that there was about a 30% loss in 2009 after the 2008. Again, you're probably more on top of the numbers than I am, but that's something I need to dig into.
That was the whole financial crisis, of course. Yeah, and I mean, the story I had from FreightWaves last evening said that we're pretty much in the worst position the trucking is since like 2019 when the whole pandemic thing was first kicking. But all right, news break on the overnight drive.
It's coming. Crisp fall mornings turn bitter cold. As you fire up your diesel, you can see your breath on the inside of the cab. Imagine looking deep into your engine. Freezing temperatures impact your diesel's fluids, especially fuel. On a 23-degree morning, the paraffin wax in your untreated fuel starts to morph from fluid to large crystals. These crystals clump together and form a gel. At minus 10 degrees, your fuel hits the point where it no longer pours like a liquid. It's so dense that the flow through the fuel filter will slow, causing hard starts or no starts. Get prepared now for the cold that is coming. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is a premium fuel additive that lowers your fuel's pour point to minus 65 degrees. If it's that cold out, you shouldn't be on the road. You ought to be at home in front of the fireplace. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel Premium Fuel Additive. Available now online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Whether you're a diesel pickup performance enthusiast or just looking for a small upgrade, when selecting common rail fuel system components, look no further than Exergy Performance. At Exergy, you'll find injectors, pumps, and more, engineered like no others on the market using state-of-the-art equipment run by people that have been in the business for decades. Exergy is the home of the Sportsman line of injectors. These injectors are designed for use in pickup trucks with no other modifications and offer a 15 to 20 horsepower gain while being calibrated to tighter tolerances than factory stock injectors. With a product lineup of injectors from Sportsman to 700% over, pumps from Sportsman to 14 millimeters, and complete engine control systems, Exergy has you covered. So if you're in the market for common rail components at any power level, contact Exergy Performance or one of our many dealers listed on our website at exergyperformance.com.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
USA News, I'm John Schaefer. Mismanaging classified documents is nothing new. National Archives and Records Administration officials who spoke to a congressional committee behind closed doors in March said every administration since the 1980s has mismanaged classified documents. They even said that they've received more than 80 calls from libraries finding classified information in papers belonging to members of Congress. President Biden is expressing confidence that a deal to raise the debt ceiling can be reached before the U.S. defaults. Republican Congressman Bob Good agrees, as long as there are deep budget cuts.
At some point in time, we wouldn't be able to borrow anymore. We wouldn't be able to service our debt. We wouldn't be able to sell our debt. We would have continued downgrading in our credit like we did in 2011 when the debt ceiling was raised without any reforms or cuts in spending.
Good, who's a member of the House Freedom Caucus, would also like to see work requirements for some people who receive federal aid. Some Senate Democrats want President Biden to stop negotiating with Republicans to raise the debt limit and instead use the 14th Amendment. They sent a letter to the president saying budget cuts House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is proposing are unacceptable. A president using the 14th Amendment to unilaterally raise the debt ceiling has never been done before and would most likely result in a court challenge. A 3-judge panel seems hesitant about keeping the abortion drug mifepristone on the market. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals panel is deciding whether the drug should remain available after a federal judge in Texas ordered a hold back in April. A final ruling is not expected for weeks. New York City Mayor Eric Adams would like the federal government to declare a state of emergency for his city due to the influx of migrants seeking asylum.
This is an emergency. It's baffling to me that there are those on a national level are not understanding what this is doing to New York City.
Adams said the city's out of room in shelters and almost 50% of all city hotel rooms are being used to house migrants. This is USA News.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order, plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger, so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
Montana has become the first state to completely ban the social media app TikTok. Republican Governor Greg Gianforte signed a measure that's more sweeping than any other state's. It prohibits app stores from even offering TikTok. The law is expected to be challenged and will serve as a testing ground for the TikTok-free America that many national lawmakers have envisioned. A Central Ohio surgeon who live-streamed her surgeries on TikTok could learn the fate of her medical license soon. Dr. Catherine Roxanne Grawl, known as Dr. Roxy to her 800,000 followers, is accused of botched surgeries and privacy violations. The medical board says the surgeon was putting patients at risk by giving attention to her live-stream viewers during operations. You've probably seen the Coke Freestyle machine that lets you combine all kinds of soft drinks and flavors to your liking. Well, now the same concept is coming for your condiments.
Just like making yourself a grape Diet Coke with a splash of lemon, some people want their own combination of dipping sauce. Kraft Heinz has rolled out the prototype of a machine that lets you pour out stuff like ketchup, ranch dressing, barbecue sauce, or other condiments, then mix in what it calls enhancers, mango, jalapeno, buffalo wing flavor, many, many more. Heinz debuted the machine at the National Restaurant Association show in Chicago. It hopes to have these sauces flowing by late this year. I'm Richard Johnson.
Former House Speaker Paul Ryan is being honored with an official portrait at the U.S. Capitol. The Wisconsin Republican served as Speaker from 2015 through 19. I'm John Schaefer, USA News.
Do you have a story to tell? Bring your story to life with audiobooks. Great stories deserve great storytelling. Audiobook Network provides professional voice actors and full production services for every author's manuscript. From narration, production, and editing to distribution, promotion, and sales, Audiobook Network handles everything. If you have a print book, ebook, or even a manuscript, call Audiobook Network now and get our free audiobook guide. 800-734-1229, 800-734-1229.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Diesel particulate filter regeneration.
the DPF catches particulates left over from combustion. The DPF regeneration cycle cleans the filter with temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. A computer sensor triggers the DPF regen, which is often accompanied by a loss of power and fuel economy. The frequency of DPF regens are in correlation to the cleanliness of the fuel burn. Under heavy operation with the dirty burn, DPF regens can occur multiple times per day. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme Fuel Additive promotes a more complete combustion, creating fewer emissions and therefore fewer DPF regens. Vehicles using Diesel Extreme experience 83% less DPF regens.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
All righty, there you go. Thank you much. Oh, look at there. We crossed over the midnight hour there on the West Coast, didn't we? All right. Wow, I'm looking at comments from Buckeye Boy. I'll share that in a moment. Hello, Justin. Yeah, we did have some brief technical difficulties. Yeah, let's see. Same here, about 10 minutes ago. That's Dipsy Driver. Morning, Dipsy Driver. Hello, Sylvester. How we doing? The Land Down Under on board? I've been hearing pretty regular from another friend there. What was his name? In Melbourne. I've been listening and chiming in recent nights. So spread the word. All right. Buckeye Boy. All right, he's checking in from Grants, New Mexico, 53 degrees. He said, I'm stopped for my 34-hour reset, and it's been a tough day. Found out this afternoon that a good friend and one of my stepson's best friend, Brian Abbott, was murdered near San Diego at a camping and RV resort. Apparently, he and another guy he didn't know got into an argument near the pool. The guy left, went to his camper, came back to the pool, and shot him in the chest. He passed away at the hospital. Police found the guy in his camper, and he had tried to hide the gun in one of the dryers at the community laundromat. He's been arrested. We're all in total shock. My, have a great night, everyone. Be careful out there. That's just, downright crazy. All right, sorry to hear about that. Buckeye Boy. Prayers for the family. All right, back to Sergeant MacGyver. Third time's a charm, as they say.
Yes. Thanks for holding me over. First, my condolences to Buckeye Boy. This is ridiculous. Guns don't kill people, idiots that squeeze the trigger. So God bless him, and condolences to him and his friend's family.
Yeah.
Make a couple more quick points, Steve, and I'll get off here and let other people get in. We were talking about rates and stuff when the technical difficulties came. I was talking about that couple that had a $7,800 truck payment. Whether you got a $3,000 a month truck payment, whatever. There's just a lot of folks in our industry right now, like me, that hasn't been around in a downturn. Now, by the grace of God, I made some good decisions early on. I'm a retired soldier. I've got rental properties. I've put money away for these tough days. But with this administration and with a lot of folks in this industry not having been around for downturns, I don't think they're economically bulletproof. And I need to do some more digging. I really enjoy talking to you. You're very informed, and that's an excellent point to try to get some kind of idea how much we're looking to lose over this horrible downturn.
Mm-hmm.
But as I remembered, a friend of mine had told me, who was in the industry in 2008, 2009, he had said that it had died in 2009 and didn't get better till after the July 4th weekend had come and gone. I'm afraid, and I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy, I'm just afraid we're not going to see that this year. I just don't think this administration has the competence. They put too many people in positions just because they were politically correct, connected, and not having any idea what to do. But, business is business. It's down to supply and demand. And when you've got people that jumped into this industry under the days of Trump where it was great and they made good, easy money, well, those days are gone, at least on a temporary basis, and they've got to tighten their belt. And the smart folks, you just hold on to your money because there's probably going to be a lot of fire sales come October of this year. So with that, Steve, I'm going to get off here, let others in. Thank you so much.
Right. And then for the number of years that I've been, working, of course, starting with my father in 1996, I've been, witness to numerous downturns. Some worse than others. Obviously, the 2008 into 2009 was probably the worst. It was, a bit of a bloodbath there early on, just prior to the pandemic kicking in. Then all of a sudden the demand was, off the charts, with all the economy being shut down, people working from home, everybody having to shop online. That was the boom cycle for the trucking industry. And that was when tens of thousands of individuals went out, bought a truck, let's hook up and make some easy money. And they did. But that easy money is now gone. And if you weren't a smart business person, especially trying to be an owner-operator, it's not as easy as just buying a truck and head out there, hit the broker board, and haul some freight. When the rates were up, you were fine. Yeah, it's a whole new world right now, and each and every one of those cycles, you see this, and many of the veterans out there, I guess, would tell you, they say, well, this is the nature of the beast. It's a cyclical sort of system like everything else. The economy is cyclical. And when times get tough, it just kind of weeds out the companies, the businesses that probably don't really have any business being out here trying to do it anyway. So some actually look at it as a good thing. And then once the herd is kind of thinned, all of a sudden the next cycle begins, and you have that reverse. Now you've got more demand and not as many trucks out there to move the freight, and all of a sudden the freights go up, and the cycle repeats itself. It's kind of a boom or bust. All right, Philip in Florida this morning. What's happening?
Are you with me there, buddy? I can't hear. Can I hear you? Can I hear you?
We're back.
Are you with me?
Are you with me?
Hey, I got to pay homage to my buddy Ed there.
Yep.
I hope you're doing all right out there, Ed. But I think a lot of what we're seeing right now, and by the way, when you were talking about spot rates yesterday, I actually went and looked at the report that Sergeant was just talking about there, and yeah, it's scary stuff. I think a lot of people got in the industry because it was essential. Truck drivers were essential. You remember that word, essential workers.
Yeah.
During the pandemic. And what happened was a lot of people went over their needs and got what they wanted to get. So instead of buying the truck that would be in their need department, that would be enough to get them by, they went and bought a really expensive truck, and that payment just went through the roof. I mean, if you look at the sales right now, semis and tractors, and look at the price of some of the newer tractors, I'm not talking about the older ones. I'm talking about the ones that need up to the new standards. It's a lot of money to get into a tractor right now, and $7,800 for a payment is quite a substantial payment. I'd be interested to know what kind of truck those folks are driving. But that's what's happening, Steve. And then think about this also, Steve, is we got a lot of people out there, or a lot, not people per se, but companies out there. Look at the amount of money companies were making during pandemic. Mm-hmm. The streaming services, Walmart, the delivery services, all these different companies were making all this money. Now, when investors go out and buy stock, they want a company that's going to make that kind of money all the time. Well, now that's all over with. The money is gone on the tube. You know what I mean? Everything is stabilizing out. It's going down. We've seen that with the housing market. We've seen it with different things right now, and that's what's happening right now. We're getting down below where we were in 2019, and it's not going the right way. And I think just a lot of people are just not padding themselves up for, like you said, downturns. We're all like it. There's a lot of us out here. I'm one to say it. I live paycheck to paycheck, and it's one of those things. We don't pad our capital enough, and we're not ready for them downturns, and that's what's happening. What do you think?
Well, I'm thinking that aren't the numbers something like 60 or 70% of the American populace lives paycheck to paycheck? That's the numbers I hear. So, it's not just people working for, $15 an hour. Yeah, there's people making six figures living paycheck to paycheck.
Well, look at it this way, Steve. When I was a company driver, I had a cousin that was an owner-operator. Okay, he had a decent truck. Okay, as a company driver at the time, now I'm talking back in the 90s, okay, I was making about $60,000, $70,000 a year as a company driver, okay, which was really good. He was making about $150,000 a year as an owner-operator, okay, for doing what he was doing. He was doing regional work. Mm-hmm. And out of that $150,000, I asked him one time, I said, how much are you actually putting in your pocket, per se? Not so much your company operating costs, but how much you're putting in your pocket. And he said, I'm putting about $40,000 in my pocket out of that $150,000. So you think about it, that all that money was going towards a truck payment, towards insurance.
Yep. Maintenance.
When you go, when you go and buy just a base plate for a truck, I'm not sure how much it is in the other states. Down here in Florida, I think it's about $2,500 for a base plate down here in Florida, just for the tractor. You know, that ain't counting your trailer. That ain't counting, your insurance. That ain't counting if you have different things going on with your company, bonding, your authorities. I mean, there's a lot of money that you have to invest to be in trucking. I mean, we got ELD service every month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your camera service, you've got to maintain the cameras now to keep your insurance down. I mean, you got to have that fancy camera looking ahead of you so they can watch it, and that costs money. I mean, that's what, like, you look at Yellow. Think about Yellow's got to have those in all their trucks. Think about Saia. Saia's got to have them in trucks. It was kind of funny, though, when he was talking about the 3-letter agencies. Well, in trucking, and I learned this when I worked for Averitt, they use the term one-word companies. So you think about it, you've got UPS, you got FedEx, you got ABF, you got Averitt. They're all one-word companies, and it's the same thing, but it's in the trucking industry. It's kind of funny the way he was bringing that up. So, and by the way, that debt ceiling thing's getting serious. Did you see Bill Nelson getting grilled by the Congress about the budget for NASA?
I did not, no.
Pull it up. My Lord, he was getting hammered. They were, that Artemis, you might not see it much longer. So, that Artemis program might get hit because it's like $8 billion in their budget right there.
Okay.
But check it out, Steve. I mean, he got hammered by Congress the other day. They're trying to figure out how they can cut this stuff out. NASA's going to get, I don't think NASA's going to get there I think it's $25 billion is what they want, is the number that I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So, but if you get a chance, everybody out there, look at those spot rates. When you were talking about that yesterday, I was looking at those charts, and it's scary stuff when you look at that DAT chart. It's scary stuff like that gentleman was stating earlier. So, But that's all I got today, bud. Y'all have a good day. Thanks.
All right, have a great day there. Yep, and thanks for chiming in, Philip. Have a good morning.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
diesel fuel cetane levels.
in many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regeneration. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, Fine Farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Jeans aren't one size fits all. Your seats shouldn't be either. That's the idea behind Bostrom's Wide Ride. It's the future of seating comfort. The Wide Ride features a 23-inch wide seat cushion and backrest, flex mat cushion support system, full lever recline, and front and rear cushion tilt on Bostrom's premium suspension system, allowing you to find your perfect fit. Optional features include a seat heater and a new innovative smart seat memory. With the flip of a switch, your seat can be a help and not a hindrance, allowing you to get in and out of your cab with ease. The premium foam is what makes the Wide Ride seat the perfect fit. It's designed to work for drivers of all shapes and sizes, and each seat is custom built right here in the USA. It's the smart seat choice. Go to BostromSeating.com now and find ultimate comfort for the open road with the Wide Ride from Bosch.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
I've heard several times in our news breaks this Thursday morning. Something I've been saying for months and months. I know I'm beating a dead horse, right? Talking about the power grid. So it's official. The nation's power grid is in precarious shape. That's the word. As we head into what could be an especially hot summer, according to the regulatory authority that monitors the system, with much of the country at risk for outages if, indeed, we see that scorching weather that scientists say looks increasingly likely. While the seasonal electricity forecast is a bit more optimistic than it was last year, when much of the Midwest and the Southeast was so short on power that those regions were on high alert for energy emergencies, it does point to an unnerving summer ahead. This, as the scientists are tracking a developing El Nino weather pattern that threatens to cause temperatures to spike and big storms to form in the coming months. The Mid-Atlantic and the southeastern states are the only areas of the country where the North American Electric Reliability Corporation is not warning of the potential for outages in the event of an intense heat wave or maybe a monster storm. And I quote, "The system is close to its edge," says the Director of Reliability Assessment and Performance at the NERC. More needs to be done to bolster the system's reliance. These warnings are becoming an annual event as we continue to have the government not just asking to go electric, but mandating and forcing it down our throat. We're pretty much killing ourselves. A lack of investment in the fragile collection of transfer stations and transmission lines to keep the lights on and the AC humming is compounding the problem, they said. This is sure to rekindle the debate about the energy transition and to the extent to which our attempts to curb climate change are stressing the national network of electricity systems. Now, this just days after the Biden administration unveiled their latest aggressive plan to lower emissions at the existing power plants, which will further erode stability of the grid. Many, many energy scholars say that while the rapid shift to cleaner energy, it does add to the challenge of modernizing the grid, there are other factors that play a big part in what's going on. Now, becoming annual summertime energy shortage anxieties is going to persist for years. Experts at the NERC said on a call with reporters that they welcome the addition of more solar and wind to the system, but they're anxious about the speed and unpredictability with which fossil fuel plants are closing. We can bring a lot more wind and solar online. We say bring them on. But we don't want to see the cliff's edge when it comes to fossil power plants. I mean, these retirements that come without a lot of warning and not a lot of opportunity to plan. It all points to too little energy available at the same time as demand is soaring. Of course, summertime means air conditioning. They look back at how many. You realize there was a time when there weren't nearly as many homes in this country that had AC. More Americans have AC than ever before. Nearly 90% of U.S. homes now have air conditioning. Believe it or not, it was just 77% about 21 years ago. Didn't realize that. All right, John, what do we got here? We'll get to Senor Heatwave is on board. Scooby's going to check in here, and looks like Eagle chimes in as well. Seeing as we're just over a minute from news break, we'll wait till after that and get back to the calls. But real quick, like they say, replacing the coal power that's disappearing, trying to replace that with clean energy, it's taking longer than anticipated, even as solar and wind developers have financing lined up for some major projects, and they're eager to bring them online. There are interstate fights over the siting of transmission lines, supply chain challenges, slowing the shipment of equipment, and bureaucratic red tape snags with permitting. The wait time for connecting renewable energy to the grid is actually increasing every year. All right, it is 844-844-3388. Get your electric car. Let's all go to electric trucks. And better yet, let's, as the Energy Secretary suggested, let's take our military all electric. Yeah, what a joke. Okay, got a Thursday coming on here. We'll get our news break and come back with more of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Gold Eagle Studios.
USA News Update. A 3-judge panel seems hesitant about keeping the abortion drug mifepristone available for sale. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals panel will decide whether the drug should remain available after a federal judge in Texas ordered a hold on mifepristone back in April. President Biden is expressing confidence that a deal to raise the debt ceiling can be reached before the U.S. defaults. Congressman Bob Good agrees, as long as there are deep budget cuts.
The American people, though, don't want an increase without responsible cuts in spending and reforms to put us on a path to fiscal responsibility.
Good, who's a member of the House Freedom Caucus, would also like to see work requirements for some people who receive federal aid. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona has confirmed that the pandemic-era pause on federal student loan payments will come to an end later this year. That pause has been in place for more than 3 years. Roughly 44 million people will have to restart making payments. John Schaefer, USA News.
Attention small business owners. This could be the most important 10-minute call you will ever make. You could recover up to $26,000 per employee today. And all you have to do is make one short 10-minute call to take your business up a notch or bounce back from these difficult couple of years. Omega Accounting Solutions can help you recover any payroll tax overpayments you made during the pandemic. You may even be eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. All it takes is a quick, easy, free 10-minute ERC consultation to determine if you qualify. Omega is the small business champion, with teams dedicated to maximizing tax credits. They know their stuff so well that CPAs and payroll companies even turn to Omega for ERC tax guidance. Call 800-300-9ERC. That's 800-300-9ERC. 1-800-300-9ERC. Or visit OmegaTaxCredit.com.
Do you have a Dodge pickup and hate your automatic transmission? Of course you do. Levon Miller at Firepunk Diesel here, and we specialize in heavy-duty and performance transmissions for your 3/4 or 1-ton Cummins-powered truck. So if you're interested in turning your stock slush box into a towing monster, call us today at 614-733-3744 or visit us online at shop.firepunk.com.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Diesel fuel cetane levels.
in many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regeneration engines. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Hey, if you're needing to stock up on Hot Shot Secret products, don't forget, use the coupon code Overnight Drive at checkout. You'll get 10% off your entire order at hotshotsecret.com. Over $5 a gallon for diesel? Wow, it's the highest it's ever been. Now, what if you could get paid to use a fuel additive? Hear me out. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment, EDT, will improve your miles per gallon enough that the fuel economy savings will not only pay for the cost of the product, but also keep more money in your pocket. Think about it. At $5 a gallon, you're paying over $1,200 to fill up and going 1,500 miles on a full tank. Well, Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment will increase fuel economy up to 3%. That's an extra 45 miles per tank, $37 worth of diesel, and a savings of 2 cents every mile. EDT is so strong, it only takes $12 worth of EDT to get these savings, and you get all the other benefits of this 6-in-1 treatment. Take the EDT challenge today. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll refund your purchase. EDT is available at Pilot Flying J, Love's Travel Stops, and TA and Petro Stopping Centers. Learn more at hotshotsecret.com.
At Turbo 3000, our founder Andy Matouche firmly believed you should challenge yourself.
Put the most money back in your pocket, where it belongs. Four Wheeler magazine took our challenge, and they wrote it did exactly what we said it would do.
As fuel prices keep going up, get your Turbo 3000 from manufacturer direct. Call us at 888-311-9993. Always free shipping in the USA, and for a limited time, save $45 off total purchase using coupon code STEVESAVES at turbo3000.com.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
All right, back at it, see what's going on with Senor Heat Wave. Where do we find ourselves? Are we out of Albuquerque, or what's going on?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Senor. Yeah, we're out of Albuquerque, thank goodness. Tell you what, freight just isn't out there, or at least it isn't out there for our company. I think all said and done, we spent 31 hours on the board waiting for a load. And the way that they have their call block set up now under this yellow one or one yellow nonsense, you go from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then after that, your next call block is at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So if you slept on that and you didn't get a call out, you know, you better get stuff done so you can go ahead and try to grab a nap. And after your 8 p.m. call block, then the next one starts at 10 p.m. to 1. I mean, I don't know about you and a lot of the other people out there, but I can only sleep so many hours a day, and that's it. So, but yeah, it's really bothersome that the economy just is not. Well, we all knew it when Jackass Joe went ahead and killed the pipeline. It killed the border wall. We're letting too many people in. We don't have enough fuel to take care of not only the transportation aspect, but the production aspect. And so, what's going to happen? I mean, what is going to happen is we're just not going to be able to produce the stuff, the goods that we need cheap, if at all. There's a lot of product out there has petroleum product, plastic. They have that in them. So it's either in it or it's packaged in it. So I know my son-in-law said we ought to just get away from fuel altogether, oil. And I says, we can't do that. I said, a lot of our medicines have a petroleum base to it. There's something in the medical field that has a petroleum-based product either in the drug or what is holding the drug together, or IV bags. I said, we just can't do it. So, and I know I put down on your post the other day about Yellow being downgraded to C small AA.
Right.
For their credit rating. Now, I don't know exactly what all that means, but it really doesn't inspire a whole lot of confidence in the company. So I got off the pot and I went ahead and I started looking for other jobs out there, because this really does scare me. And unfortunately, the people in Albuquerque, they are not hiring drivers at this time. So, the bill collectors are going to be demanding that you make these payments on what you, took a loan out for, and they don't care. They want their money. So, I hope and pray that things get better in a real big hurry. But I think the only time when they're going to get better is when we have someone that is business savvy in the White House, or if somebody with a lot of money decides they want to buy a Yellow One, I'm up for that. Get somebody in there that knows business.
Yeah, they always say, the first quarter. I mean, you go through the holiday period and then you get into the new year. First quarter is always a kind of a slow time, but you're not really seeing an uptick in quarter 2 and 3 like some are typically used to seeing.
Not at all. Not at all. So, I mean, we got onto another bid, so I'm not going to Bloomington all the time. It's called an at-large. And prior to them restructuring our western area, when we ran at-large, I mean, good Lord, 7,100, 7,800 miles in 7 days' time, that was doable. And right now, we're barely scratching 5,000. So, there's a lot of sitting and waiting. Of course, we're getting paid to sit and wait, but that's a hell of a way to make a living there. So enough of that, because I know whenever I start talking about Yellow, it starts cutting people off. So, anyways, I don't know if this has made national headline news, but I think it was Sunday, in Farmington, New Mexico, we had a mass shooting.
Yes, I saw that. I mean, it didn't. I don't know why it didn't get a whole lot of attention, but yes, I did see that.
Okay. Well, the child, and we'll call him that, was 18 years old. How he became in possession of an AK-47 or an AR-15, I think they said it was actually AR-15. If you're 18, you're able to buy a rifle. You just can't buy the handguns. You got to wait till you're 21 to get the handguns. But he still had 2 handguns on him. And after he expended all the rounds from his AR-15, which they said he had just purchased 2 extra clips, magazines, whatever you want to call them, 2 days prior to him going on this rampage. Now, there's not a whole lot of laws in the books. There are laws in the books that would have kept him from getting these handguns legally. And I'm still not sure how he got them, if it was family or whatnot. But according to the young man's family, they said they had let police know that he has, he had a history of mental illness, but they just couldn't seem to get help for the young man. And, of course, the police chief is like, well, we're going to look into it and see, And why is it, Steve, that they always say, we're going to look into the allegations or, what the reports? I mean, damn it, man. You get the report that says, this person has you. He should not be allowed anywhere near a gun. Well, the Democrats seem to think, there's nothing wrong with the mentality of people out here. It's the gun. Now, I'm sure a lot of us out here are looking at a gun going, the gun is not dangerous. It's the idiot pulling the trigger. So, when are people on the left going to say, what, it is a mental issue that we have to deal with? I mean, guns are going to be available to anybody no matter what. We see it all the time. Gang members, felons. If there's a way, if there's a want, there's a way, and they will get them. Now, do I believe that all felons ought to be, stripped of their rights? No, I don't think they all should. I mean, in your youth, you get a little crazy, you do something stupid, and it marks you for life. However, I believe that if you can prove yourself to be trustworthy and honest, where you have a family, where you're making, a living the clean life, so to speak, then I think there ought to be consideration for those. But other folks that are just absolute hardened felons, no. We don't need to give them guns. But in this case here, it shouldn't have been a surprise because the police were informed, hey, this kid's got mental issues. So it's a sad thing that three elderly women, two in their 70s and one in her 90s.
Yeah, I think a 98-year-old, a 79-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a crying damn shame. Now, why he went and attacked them, I don't know. But he did have a note on him, and from what they showed, I mean, this kid's handwriting was atrocious. It almost looked like a fourth grader with a black crayon was writing, this note, and it wasn't
something about, I guess, maybe
very long.
His sister must have been being bullied or something. I mean, if you're reading this, I'm the end of the chapter. Lay eyes or dare put a finger on my little sister. I promise there will be regrets.
Well, I don't know what good it does anyone to go out there and shoot somebody to wind up dead, because
mental illness.
That's the end of the chapter right there for you.
Yep.
Mental illness, exactly. So, but other than that, looks like we're into our monsoon season right now, which is looks like it started a little bit early, which is nice. I got 2 gardens going on right now, so I'm just waiting to see what comes out of this sandy soil. Watermelons grow great, cantaloupes grow great, squash absolutely love the sand. So we're just going to see how much cantaloupe, watermelon, squash, and pumpkin we can pull out of the ground out here. And I did throw some wildflower seeds in the backyard, so, well, not in the immediate backyard, because I'm not pulling up the artificial turf.
I was going to say, I thought you got AstroTurf out there. What the?
Well, down at the bottom of our plot of land, I went ahead and threw some seeds out by the fence. So we've already got a really nice batch of purple flowers growing up. And of course, when I was out there mowing, Lady Heatwave made sure that I did not mow out or wipe out the pretty flowers. So I figured, well, half the fence line looks real pretty, we'll go ahead and we'll try to gussy up the other half. So that's about the way it was. And I did go to the doctor at the VA on Tuesday, and I'll tell you what, my A1C shot up to 9 from 7.9, and he put me on another medication. So hopefully that, in conjunction with metformin, will drop my A1C. And some of what we were reading as far as what may happen, side effects for this one medicine, said it may cause a lower blood sugar level than normal. And we're both thinking, well, you're pretty high to begin with, so why not just go ahead and take that? If it drops your blood sugar level, oh well, you'll probably be about normal. So yeah, I got that going on. Here in about June, I got to do a pharmacy check-in so they can see how I'm doing. But yep, that's caused because restaurants are not really in the truck stops anymore. It's fast food.
Yep.
And of course it's $10 for a sandwich, chips, and a small drink. You go to the grocery store, you can go ahead and you can buy $30 worth of stuff that'll feed you, for 7 days out there. But every now and then you got to have a little bit of change. But other than that, not a whole hell of a lot's happening out here.
All right.
So I'm just probably about 10 miles away from where Buckeye Boy is, and I'd blow the horn as I'm driving by, but I don't want to wake everybody up, so we'll just say, hey, and that's going to be it for me. So, Senor, you have yourself a good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you for checking in. Have a good morning. All right, we'll get a quick time out here, but we've had supply chain issues, shortages of this, shortages of that. And still, apparently, there's numerous drugs, medications out there that, according to the report this past day, thousands of patients are facing delays in getting treatments for cancer and other life-threatening diseases, with drug shortages approaching record levels in this country, they say. More on that right after this. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
That's that secret. We share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Turbocharger spool time.
Turbochargers are designed to increase the efficiency and power of the diesel engine by forcing compressed air into the combustion chamber. Temperatures inside the turbo can reach upwards of 400 degrees. The oil meant to lubricate the bearings will burn, leaving behind a sticky residue called stiction. The turbo's ability to spool up quickly is hindered because the stiction-covered bearings can't spin properly. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator cleans the stiction from turbo bearings, reducing spool time, and builds maximum boost sooner in the RPM range. Stiction Eliminator is a synthetic cleaner plus nano-lubricant that contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator. Available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Jeans aren't one size fits all. Your seats shouldn't be either. That's the idea behind Bostrom's Wide Ride. It's the future of seating comfort. The Wide Ride features a 23-inch wide seat cushion and backrest, flex mat cushion support system, full lever recline, and front and rear cushion tilt on Bostrom's premium suspension system, allowing you to find your perfect fit. Optional features include a seat heater and a new innovative smart seat memory. With the flip of a switch, your seat can be a help and not a hindrance, allowing you to get in and out of your cab with ease. The premium foam is what makes the Wide Ride seat the perfect fit. It's designed to work for drivers of all shapes and sizes, and each seat is custom built right here in the USA. It's the smart seat choice. Go to BostromSeating.com now and find ultimate comfort for the open road with the Wide Ride from Bostrom.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
Yeah, report says hospitals around the country are scouring shelves for supplies of a drug that reverses lead poisoning and for a sterile fluid needed to stop the heart for bypass surgeries. Yeah, there are some antibiotics that are still scarce after the winter flu season when doctors and patients were frantically chasing medicines for ailments like strep throat. Even children's Tylenol was hard to find. According to officials, hundreds of drugs are on the list of medications in short supply in the United States. As officials grapple with opaque and sometimes interrupted supply chain, quality, and financial issues that are leading the manufacturing slowdowns, and in some cases, shutdowns. But they say the shortages are so acute that they're commanding the attention of the White House and Congress, trying to find the underlying causes of the faltering generic drug market, which, by the way, accounts for about 90% of domestic prescriptions. They've assembled a team to find some long-term solutions to shore up our pharmaceutical supply chain at a time when we remain heavily reliant on medicines and our drug ingredients from, of course, we know it's China and India. And in recent weeks, generic drug makers, supply chain experts, and patent advocates have appeared before lawmakers discussing the problem. The scarcity of generic forms of chemotherapy drugs to treat lung, breast, bladder, and ovarian cancers has heightened concerns. One doctor at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine said this, in my opinion, is a public health emergency because of the number of individuals it affects and the number of chemotherapy agents that there is a shortage of right now. The American Cancer Society last week warned that delays caused by these shortages could result in worse outcomes for patients. Well, no kidding. If these drugs are not available, people are going to get inferior care. That's the bottom line. These aren't third or fourth line drugs where there's multiple other agents around. These are used up front for people and that we're trying to cure. So cancer medications, and you were still relying, and how much did we talk about this at the onset of the pandemic? Recall our reliance, and most of us had no idea the sheer quantity of drugs we rely solely on China and India for. Antibiotics. 0 antibiotics manufactured here in the United States. None. Nada. All relied on overseas sources. Well, Eagle, what's happening this Thursday? Good morning.
Yeah, how you doing? You probably have to give me a little bit more time after the break, but I got a couple of things to talk about tonight, Steve, man. First of all, I want us to talk about the Florida governor. You know something, Steve? I just read on my phone an hour or so ago when I was on hold. The governor of Florida said that he's going to announce he's running for president next week. I think that's a bad move, Steve. It's really a damn shame that Donald Trump and this man can't come together as one. The governor coming in as the vice president and Trump. These two guys have similar attitudes and similar takes on the immigration policies and similar attitudes as far as I'm concerned, personalities. And I think that they can really get the United States on a roll, and Donald Trump could teach this man all he knows, and then he could take over in 2028. and continue the tradition of the Republicans. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And what I'm hoping for is that these two guys don't fight with each other so much that they end up losing out to a loser, Joe Biden, and he gets back in the White House. I got a real bad feeling that these two guys are going to be going at each other tooth and nail for the next year up until the election with revealing information that doesn't need to be revealed about each other. And that might help the Democrats out. And the Democrats don't need no help, Steve. They've already shown that they'll try every trick in the book to get back in the White House. The Republicans don't need to be fighting each other, cutting each other's throats. So I hope that him and Donald Trump can sit down at the table in the next couple of weeks and try to make something happen. And they can come.
Don't hold your breath on that. But, so, hang in there. We'll get to the next topic as we head into our final hour right after this.
PureFlow AirDog, your leader in fuel air separation system technology. Our systems filter out water, particulates down to 2 micron, and remove all of the air out of your diesel fuel. This allows for nothing but pure, clean diesel fuel to reach the expensive injection system equipped in your vehicle. Not only do our fuel systems protect, they also come in a variety of flow rates to meet your performance needs. Our systems are compact and use OEM-style fittings for an easy installation. Learn more about our product at www.pureflowairdog.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Protect your investment with PureFlow AirDog.
At Hot Shot Secret, we listen to our customers. Everyday Diesel Treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time. Our fans call it EDT.
I'm Nathan from Ellisville, Mississippi, and I drive a 2017 Ford F-350 Power Stroke. I've been using Hot Shot Secret EDT every tank for almost 3 years, and I've seen about 1.5 to 2 miles per gallon increase in fuel mileage.
Everyday Diesel Treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com.
Drivers, you demand that your equipment's reliable and dependable, and that also applies to your headset for communication. Well, our friends at Stellar Electronic have you covered. The Pluto Duo headset bundle is the best communication headset you can find in the industry. No matter the challenging environment you're driving in, the Pluto headset will make you sound crystal clear all the time thanks to their 99% noise cancellation. And the Duo's not only a stereo converter for the headset, but also a power bank so you can charge as you go. Learn more at StellarElectronic.com or visit them on Facebook. Hey there, listening friends. I want to remind you, don't forget you can get 10% off your entire order at HotShotSecret.com by simply using the coupon code Overnight Drive.
Keep the bugs off your glass and the smokies off your This is the Overnight Drive with Steve Summers.
USA News, I'm Ryan Daniels. An appeals court appears likely to restrict access to a key abortion pill. The Justice Department argued in front of a New Orleans federal court Wednesday to allow greater access to the pill after a Texas judge restricted its access months ago.
An unjustified attack on FDA's scientific expertise.
It was a federal judge in Texas who issued a temporary order shelving the abortion pill. The lawsuit's now before the Fifth Circuit, which has favored conservative arguments in the past. The mayor of New York City believes there should be a federal emergency declared for the Big Apple in light of the immigration crisis. Mayor Eric Adams on Wednesday.
There are those on a national level are not understanding what this is doing to New York City.
He expects a surge in arriving migrants soon, including up to 15 busloads of them in the next day or so. The city running out of shelter room. Montana is becoming the first U.S. state to ban the social media app TikTok. On Wednesday, Governor Greg Gianforte signed legislation to ban TikTok from operating in the state. It also prohibits offering TikTok to Montana users. You may have to start making your federal student loan payments again soon.
Education Secretary Miguel Cardona has confirmed that the pandemic-era pause on federal student loan payments will come to an end later this year. It's been extended 8 times, even after the Biden administration said it would no longer be extended. When that pause ends, roughly 44 million people will have to restart making payments on their federal student loans. I'm John Schaefer.
And President Biden is in Japan to participate in a G7 summit as urgent negotiations over raising the debt ceiling are being held in D.C.
Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy noted a measure of progress, highlighting that his staff and Biden's staff have continued to talk over averting a national default since the White House meeting on Tuesday. This is USA News.
The inventor and CEO of MyPillow is always looking for ways to solve everyday problems. Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? It's basically a towel that's leaving you out to dry. That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. I know, it's mind-blowing. Towels that actually dry you. The 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. They come in a variety of colors, and right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com right now and click on the radio listener special. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty and they have a 60-day money-back guarantee. To receive this amazing offer on the 6-piece set of MyPillow towels, just go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special and enter promo code USA or call 800-951-8175. That's MyPillow.com. Promo code USA.
Every administration since the 80s has mismanaged classified documents. That's according to National Archives and Records Administration officials who spoke to a congressional committee behind closed doors in March. Mark Bradley, who directs the National Archives Information Security Oversight Office, said he's received more than 80 calls from libraries finding classified information in papers belonging to members of Congress. Another swipe at diversity, equity, and inclusion, this time in the Ohio State Senate.
With 21 yeas and 10 nays, the bill is passed and entitled.
The bill would ban faculty strikes, restrict mandatory diversity training, and would penalize professors who do not create classrooms free from bias. The bill now heads to the Ohio House. There are now differing versions of what Prince Harry and Meghan Markle say was a near-catastrophic car chase for 2 hours with paparazzi in New York City. Mayor Eric Adams said he finds it hard to believe the pursuit lasted for 2 whole hours, but added even a 10-minute chase is too long. The New York City cab driver, who claims to have picked up Harry and Meghan, said he was flagged down by their security team.
I was just crossing on 67 going across town, and I see a security guard ask me if I want a fare, and I said of course, and then next he pull over. And next minute, they were jumping in back into my cab.
That's Sonny, by the way. He says he takes a lot of celebrities around town. I'm Ryan Daniels, USA News.
Omaha Steaks Burger Perfection Flight, made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks, rewrites the book on burgers. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout for an extra $20 off your order, plus free shipping when you order the $79.99 Burger Perfection Flight. A fantastic array of pure ground steak on a bun burger greatness. For $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight, use promo code TREAT at checkout at omahasteaks.com and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required. At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Diesel particulate filter regeneration.
the DPF catches particulates left over from combustion. The DPF regeneration cycle cleans the filter with temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. A computer sensor triggers the DPF regen, which is often accompanied by a loss of power and fuel economy. The frequency of DPF regens are in correlation to the cleanliness of the fuel burn. Under heavy operation with the dirty burn, DPF regens can occur multiple times per day. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme Fuel Additive promotes a more complete combustion, creating fewer emissions and therefore fewer DPF regens. Vehicles using Diesel Extreme experience 83% less DPF regens.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, Fine Farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Yeah, sounds like it was a kind of a crazy way to start the day in Houston along one interstate this past day. Truck driver got a police escort the wrong direction after realizing his load would not fit beneath an overpass. I guess luckily he stopped about 8 o'clock this past morning. I-45 at Allen Parkway, according to ABC 13. The truck driver contacted police when he realized the load would not fit. Ultimately, he was escorted. They got him turned around, escorted the wrong way on the northbound lanes. The rig was then escorted to a U-turn to the East X Freeway exit ramp before eventually making its way up to the North Loop. The truck eventually made its way back north on I-45, allowing for a normal flow of traffic by about 10:30 in the morning. Now, no injuries reported, no citations issued as a result. Police say the driver just apparently accidentally missed his exit, which led to the clearance issue. But there you go. Even, hey, during road check, 72-hour road check, no citation. I guess got lucky there. All right, welcome back, Eagle.
Okay, Steve, like I was saying before the break, man, I really hope that Donald Trump and the governor of Florida can get together. You know, I'm just gonna give you an example of what I'm trying to say. If you watch the NASCAR race that happened last Sunday, you had two drivers, Kyle Larson and guy Chastain. They were going at it, and they ended up wrecking both each other out. And then the guy that was running in third place came in for the victory. And this is what could happen with Donald Trump and the governor of Florida. They could fight with each other so much and reveal so much damaging information. Donald Trump claims that he has some top secret information about the Florida governor that we don't know about, that he might release. And this might end up hurting him. And we already know about, what kind of bad stuff Donald Trump has done. It could end up helping this loser, Joe Biden, or whoever, another Democrat that they choose to get in the White House. And that'll be a total disaster, Steve. We cannot take another 4 years of this, man. You already know that. Anybody with a brain in their mind knows that. Just one other quick note before I get back to what I'm saying. Anybody that votes for Joe Biden in 2024, Steve, they need to go check themselves into a go get an evaluation on your mental health, because there's something wrong with you. If you haven't seen what this man is made of the last 3 years, then you need to go get a mental evaluation. That's my recommendation to any Joe Biden fans out there. Now, let me get back to this, Steve. I was looking at a video earlier tonight about Florida, and this man down there, and the governor of Florida got the right idea, Steve. I told you this a couple of weeks ago. We're back in 2006 and 7, when I had stopped driving trucks for about a year. I was working in the housing industry, building houses and construction. And what they were doing in Georgia to stop these illegals from working in these work sites were telling these no illegals would be allowed to work, and that you would not only get rid of them, you would also get rid of the man that hired these individuals. And this is what the governor of Florida has done, Steve. They said that it's a ghost town. They showed empty houses down in Florida. This video I looked at, there are no workers on these homes. These homes have been sitting empty for over a week now, ever since the governor passed his new bill saying that you have to have proof that you have the right to work in the United States of America. And that's what every state in America should do. That if you don't have a driver's license, a social security card, or any other information stating that you're a U.S. citizen, you should not be allowed to work in this country. It's simple as that. It's not being a racist. It's not being a hatred towards other individuals. It's the truth, because they won't allow me to work without these forms of ID. So if I can't work without these forms of ID, they shouldn't be allowed to work with these forms of ID, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm really pissed off. And as far as the Mexican, the Hispanic truck drivers claiming that they're going to boycott boycott Florida. Well, go ahead on and boycott Florida, my man, because Florida doesn't need you. They got plenty of other truckers like myself that'll be more than happy to take a load into Florida. So if you don't want to run your load to Florida, my man, then do your thing. Go somewhere else, because Florida doesn't need you, because this man is only trying to enforce the rules of law. Americans should have these jobs before a man from a foreign country that doesn't even speak the language and doesn't want to learn the language to get this job. And anybody who says I'm wrong, then that's your problem, not mine. Because this makes no sense at this point, Steve, for these people to be trying to take this type of attitude. And the governor of Florida, I'm giving nothing but the prayer. I've already told you this week that I'm moving to Florida sometime this year. Before the end of the year, I will be in Florida because Texas is slowly but surely going down the drain. You might as well call Texas northern Mexico. As a matter of fact, from now on, when I call your show, Steve, that's what Texas is now going to be called northern Mexico, because that's exactly what it is right now. And like I said before, on this other situation with the governor of Florida, Steve, like I say, I give this man nothing but praise. He is sending his people. He is sending military troops, state, National Guard down to Texas. He has nothing to do with Texas, and this shows you how much this man cares about America. He's sending his own people down to Texas to help reinforce the Texas border, and you got your own president that won't even send federal help down to close this border down. So that shows you what kind of a man this man is. And if, like I said, Donald Trump is the man I'm voting for right now, but if somehow Trump doesn't get in the race for 2024, my vote will instantly go to him, the governor of Florida. So I'm giving the man nothing but praise. And like I said before, anybody that has a problem with me saying that a man, undocumented alien, shouldn't be allowed to work in Florida, then you know what you can do, and it's simple as that. And I thank you for taking my call tonight, Steve.
All right. Would you believe it, Eagle, if I told you that now you got to consider what are polls in this modern era worth? You know, we've seen in the last several election cycles, 4-year presidential election cycles, the polls have been wrong. But New York Post reporting this past day says President Biden would actually expand his margin of victory from 2020 over Donald Trump if a rematch were being held today. Now, I'm not familiar. The WPA Intelligence Survey, 1,571 registered voters, which shows Biden leading Trump 47% to 40%. Now, by comparison, Biden defeated Trump by 4.5 percentage points in the 2020. Now, this is the popular vote. Looking further back, Barack Obama won re-election over Mitt Romney by a 3.9 percentage points in 2012. The poll has a margin of error plus or minus 2.5%. It was conducted by May the 10th through the 13th. That also showed independent voters backing Biden by a whopping 14 percentage points from the 9 points by which Democrats won the independents 3 years ago, according to the Pew Research Center. Like I said, would you believe that? Yeah, despite the grim reading for Trump supporters, the poll also showed Biden remains vulnerable next year. Just 46% of voters approve, 54% disapprove of the job the president is doing right now. 42% strongly disapprove. Now, simply based on that, if you're taking the same polled individuals, a majority disapprove of how he's doing right now, but apparently many of those who disapprove would also not vote for Trump, regardless. Is it the same? I don't care who it is, but I will not vote for Trump. Can we believe any of that? Only 39% of registered voters have a favorable impression of the current commander-in-chief. 54% unfavorable. Well, how about Trump? They said Trump's ratings are even worse. 32% of registered voters have a favorable impression compared to 62% with unfavorable impressions. Fared even worse among independents. Just 21% with a favorable impression, 71% an unfavorable impression. Like I said, according to this particular poll, how much credence do you put in polls today? Are they worth the paper they're even written on? I don't know. All right, Scooby's on board. It's been a while. What's happening?
Yeah, how you doing there, Steve? Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, thanks for hanging in there.
I don't believe anything they say about Trump because they don't like him. They don't want him in office because they're afraid he's going to probably take them out. And, the government doesn't want to do anything with the mental people out there because half of them are in the office. They're mental. But anyway,
right.
the reason I was calling was that you were talking about the ATF. Well, my son had one of those triggers that the ATF wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my son bought one, and one of his friends bought one. Well, the ATF contacted my son's friend and told him they wanted them. And so they had to take them out of the guns, and they gave them to him. And the ATF gave them a piece of paper, showed him that they took it. And my son told me, he said, the funny thing is you go online and still buy them. And now this has been probably 3 weeks ago. It's been a while since they took them. It wasn't like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they were still able to buy them. So I guess at some point there may be a lawsuit or something where they get their money back. And they don't know how the ATF got their number. I guess it was where they purchased them on a debit card or credit card.
Okay, because that's so the same scenario. So they're thinking it's because they had all this discussion about. Remember, 6 or 8 months ago, the bank said that they're going to start flagging any gun purchases or weapon purchases with the credit card with the special code or something. There was a lot of backlash, and I think most of them said that they backed off. But apparently, there are some that obviously are somehow tracking those sort of purchases.
Yeah, so it makes you want to, when you go in and buy anything like that, buy it with the cash.
Well,
but I think they bought that online, though. I think those were bought online. I could be wrong in saying that.
Okay.
I think that's where they got them. You were talking about UPS earlier. I didn't get to hear I didn't get to start listening to you about 1:30. But right at the time you started talking about UPS, and I missed what you were talking about. Did they say they were thinking about going on strike, or is just still the rumor out there about them?
It was the FedEx pilots voted overwhelmingly to strike, and I just kind of tossed in. I know that the discussions are ongoing about UPS and I guess had they not voted that, they voted to strike if they don't come up with a deal, right?
No, they haven't voted. They usually they do that sometime around now. The president will ask the members to vote to give him the authorization to strike if they don't come up with a good thing. But as of right now, they haven't asked for that vote yet.
Okay, all right. So they're still working on. They had a couple of supplementals left, and they're working on the actual main deal.
Right. Somebody said they may have settled those ones. There was one in California or Carolinas, and the one there in Louisville, which is their main air hub.
Correct.
That's the main one they were working on. So.
Yeah.
I'm not for sure if they got it settled. I haven't seen anything on it, but I haven't looked for it either. But lately, but I know they're working on the national agreement right now, trying to get something settled.
Yeah, I was just throwing out a hypothetical, like how ugly things would be in the event that like FedEx pilots went on strike, and then what if UPS went on strike? That would be a disaster.
Right. Well, I think the talks are going pretty good, but if you ask me probably in January, February, I would say we probably would go on strike. But, maybe they're serious about trying to get things settled. And it's not, for me, it's not about the money. I work for UPS. It's not about the money. There's a lot more other issues at hand rather than the money. But, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Any talk are you aware, any talk about doing anything for, I know a lot of the package drivers in no AC in the trucks, and it's talking another hot summer. Is that part of the discussions? Do you know?
I don't think so, and I don't see where it would do them any good. These drivers that does local routes, they probably do 150 to 170 stops a day. You ain't going to have enough time to get air conditioning cooled off and open that door back up. It'll do anything for you.
Okay.
That's just where I'm at. They're talking like the 22 Ford jobs. Those are the guys that were package car drivers. They were working on the weekends. They were at a 2-tier pay. They're looking at getting rid of that altogether. There's no reason why you should have a 2-tier system anyway, especially the amount of money that UPS is making. No one should be making more than the driver right beside you. Mainly it's the stuff that I'm hearing is they're dealing with is mainly like the contractors taking our work. That's a lot of the issues that we're having.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But then again, I'm not there listening.
You're
to
not
them
in the
every day
you're not in the negotiations, whatever. So yeah, there's always a lot of rumors and rumblings. I heard this, I heard that, but all right. Well, hey, Scooby, good to hear from you. Thank you so much for checking in. And yeah, don't be a stranger. And we return into
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Diesel fuel cetane levels.
in many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regeneration. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, Fine Farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Jeans aren't one size fits all. Your seats shouldn't be either. That's the idea behind Bostrom's Wide Ride. It's the future of seating comfort. The Wide Ride features a 23-inch wide seat cushion and backrest, flex mat cushion support system, full lever recline, and front and rear cushion tilt on Bostrom's premium suspension system, allowing you to find your perfect fit. Optional features include a seat heater and a new innovative smart seat memory. With the flip of a switch, your seat can be a help and not a hindrance, allowing you to get in and out of your cab with ease. The premium foam is what makes the Wide Ride seat the perfect fit. It's designed to work for drivers of all shapes and sizes, and each seat is custom built right here in the USA. It's the smart seat choice. Go to BostromSeating.com now and find ultimate comfort for the open road with the Wide Ride from Bosch.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
All right, good morning to Dipsy Driver. Sent me an email. Said they started working on a new pipeline just north and east of Stockbridge, Michigan. It's going to run from Chelsea to Williamston, eventually traveling through 4 counties. He said, you wouldn't believe the stacks of old tires and mattresses that workers have put up by their access roads. Like, what's that, like the protesters? All right, I said, also just wanted to let you and the friends I've made on Facebook know that I was informed by several of your loyal listeners. My account was either hacked or cloned. So if anybody gets a strange message, it was not me. Thank you to those who let me know about that. Have another great show, as always. All right, thank you, Dipsy Driver. And Truck and Fill on board. Simplify. Coffee's up. Morning, Mr. Summers, the Hot Shot Secret Nation, and the great product of Staybill. Heading up to 72 in Fort Wayne. Sounds like a beautiful day. 67 for Sterling Heights as we get ready to depart. Sterling Heights for Fort Wayne and back again. Have a safe day. And again, Semper Fi. Doug, I believe. Morning, Doug. What's happening?
Good morning, Steve. Thanks for taking my call. Just wanted to touch on a couple of things. I'm kind of coming into the show a little late. I've been listening about an hour and a half. So if I say something that's already been talked about, maybe stop me or something. But at the news break, I heard that New York City is declaring a state of emergency because of all the busloads of illegals coming up. Well, isn't that something? I mean, aren't they a sanctuary state?
Yes,
I mean,
they are. Yes,
they have been supporting Biden. They have been, I mean, the New York City's a mess. It's so interesting. Oh, help us now, type of an attitude when they welcome all this garbage in that, anyway, what are your thoughts on that? And Yellow, I heard you and Heatwave talking, but what's the big news on Yellow? And isn't Yellow already in junk bond status at like $1.47 a share?
Earlier this week, it's the what is it? The Moody's, the investment service. They've downgraded Yellow yet a further step, which is they're getting way down on the totem pole. And I mean concerns about Yellow.
Yeah, with Yellow, one has to think, has the government been propping them up for all these years?
Well, I mean, they did get that. What wasn't it? Was it $7 million or $700 million they got to keep them alive there during the pandemic?
A lot of money, that's for sure.
I'm thinking it was $700 million, and how have they? How did they burn through that? And be losing the millions and millions they're losing now. And now Heatwave alluded to the fact that for whatever reason the freight's just not there, at least for his company. But all right, okay, we got to get a news break here, and we'll return as we roll into a Thursday, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
USA News Update. New York City's mayor says the influx of migrants is beginning to become a real problem, and he says the federal government needs to declare an emergency for the Big Apple in response. Mayor Eric Adams says nearly half of all hotel rooms in the city are being taken up by migrants now.
So instead of monies coming from people who are visiting us and spending in our tourism and our Broadway plays, instead of them using those hotels, we're using those hotels.
He said he expects a surge in arriving immigrants soon. And former House Speaker Paul Ryan is being honored with an official portrait at the U.S. Capitol.
Thank you for always being a sounding board, for sacrificing all those days and years while I was in D.C., and for allowing me to serve my hometown for 20 years.
The Wisconsin Republican served as Speaker from 2015 through 2019. I'm Ryan Daniels, USA News.
Attention small business owners. This could be the most important 10-minute call you will ever make. You could recover up to $26,000 per employee today. And all you have to do is make one short 10-minute call to take your business up a notch or bounce back from these difficult couple of years. Omega Accounting Solutions can help you recover any payroll tax overpayments you made during the pandemic. You may even be eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. All it takes is a quick, easy, free 10-minute ERC consultation to determine if you qualify. Omega is the small business champion with teams dedicated to maximizing tax credits. They know their stuff so well that CPAs and payroll companies even turn to Omega for ERC tax guidance. Call 800-300-9ERC. That's 800-300-9ERC. 1-800-300-9ERC. Or visit OmegaTaxCredit.com.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
product claims without proof.
Every trucker on the road has heard product claims about an additive that simply didn't match their experience. Proof is found from third-party testing by a recognized, credible source. That's proof. Hot Shot Secret's Stiction Eliminator will improve your performance and fuel economy. For proof, we engaged the Ohio State University Center of Automotive Research to conduct an EPA-certified fuel economy test with Stiction Eliminator on a FedEx truck, a 2006 B500 Freightliner with 247,000 miles. The test showed a 3.6% increase in highway driving fuel economy from Stiction Eliminator, an oil additive. The complete report from OSU is available for download at hotshotsecret.com. That's proof.
Hotshot Secret Stiction Eliminator, available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
For anything diesel, take it to Scheid Diesel. They provide a wide variety of services and diagnostics to determine what the problem is with the latest technology. From simple oil changes and preventative maintenance to fuel system diagnostics and repairs, engine rebuilds and cylinder head repairs, and rebuilds with our in-house machine shop. They also have on-site DPF cleaning for exhaust issues and DOT inspections. If your diesel is asking for some attention, Scheid Diesel has the specialist you need for anything diesel. Located in Terre Haute and Lafayette, Indiana, and Effingham, Illinois, Scheid Diesel has you covered.
Hey, don't forget, as a listener to this program, you get 10% off your entire order at hotshotsecret.com by using the coupon code Overnight Drive.
Attention all truckers, Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. I want to talk to you about those dreaded tax problems. I know you want to keep on trucking and not even think about them. Well, let's face it, they're not going away all on their own. You need professional help. I've been helping truckers put their tax problems in the rearview mirror for years. I can help you too. Call me for a free consultation at 888-632-4506 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com. It's like I always say, keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep mine on the IRS. 888-632-4506.
How do you sleep on the road? After downtime, do you wake up well-rested and invigorated or tired, achy, and sore? Well, if it's the latter, you're not sleeping on the Big Rig Mattress. The Big Rig Mattress is a hybrid with an individually pocketed spring core that's engineered to deliver the best restorative sleep for your time on the road. Many drivers have said they sleep better over the road on the Big Rig Mattress than they do at home. Learn more about the Big Rig Mattress at thebigrigmattress.com or call 877-736-4233. Most standard sizes ship within 72 business hours. The Big Rig Mattress, 100% made in the USA since 2009.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
Let me see. So I had to go back and I wanted to get the story straight. He was asking about yellow there. And I wanted to get the correct wording. It was Monday. The credit rating agency, Moody's, downgraded the carrier's corporate family rating from B3 to CAA1. And it says obligations rated CAA are judged to be speculative, of poor standing, and subject to very high credit risk. I think that's from Moody's. So the credit rating. All right, CAA, not a good rating. Knucklebuster, what's happening?
Morning, Mr. Steve Summers. Well, I read this phony baloney article that said that Saturday night Live Air beats the writer's strike with popular hosts who can just talk non-talk for hours. That'd be Donald J. Trump, right?
Oh boy.
He don't need no writers, right? Well, Trump's his own worst enemy. He lost that defamation case up there in New York, and then first thing he does, gets on TV and starts slamming that woman again. Well, you know, I don't know. That's why his popularity is not up, because he won't shut his own mouth there, right? Well, let's get on to some other baloney here. 666, love of money, see? That's the root of all evil. Well, when you let that credit card down there, I can guarantee you that's their mark. They know exactly what you've done every time. And they've got control of that. Well, I must have been at that Shepherd that Eagle was at yesterday, because they had a sign on there, don't open the window, don't tap on the glass. I just got up there and stood there for about 30 seconds, and they finally opened the glass up, and I told them what I needed to do. They ain't give me no problem there. I was probably there 30 minutes sitting out in the truck. As soon as they backed in, they had me loaded in the hour, and I was gone there. I read that the Broncos' Sean Payton hit Ben DiNucci with a reality check. The guy that is the CEO of Walmart now, he's part owner of the Denver Broncos Center. Now, Payton told DiNucci, if it don't work out here, he's probably got a door greeter job you could work at. And that'd be a low blow, see. And said they were banning chocolate milk in school.
Yes.
That's just plain downright nasty, Steve. Chocolate is the only reason to save this planet. We're the only one with it. So, well, I guess we're the only planet with it. We ain't been to too many others. Well, everybody looks good to somebody. And Salma Hayek, she flashes her naked body during this one of them videos. I ain't seen the video yet, but I can promise you, she looks a lot better than Martha Stewart does on the cover of that Sports Illustrated magazine.
Okay. No, a lot of people are saying, I guess they released that, and they say Martha looks pretty good for 81 years old.
Oh, she didn't even look good at 21 to me.
Okay. Everybody looks good to somebody.
Yeah, that's right. And Obama, he got on there and said he was upset that all the news wasn't the same. I guess he's disappointed that we all don't think like him, see. Praise the Lord and pass some morphine on that one there. So, yeah, I guess. Yeah. And there was a Pennsylvania man. He was found guilty after hiding in the attic of this woman. She's one of them OnlyFans members. He was hiding up there in her house there, filming her while she was sleeping. Come on, get alive, man. Did you know you could buy Paul Newman's Chevy V8? All of his memorabilia is on sale now, but you better have a pocket full of money.
I reckon it probably ain't cheap, is it? Yeah, Paul Newman. I'd have to pull up the prices. All right, yeah. Knucklebuster, I'm not sure if he got a new headset a few months ago, and it'd been sounding good. He's kind of out in the middle of nowhere tonight, but all right. Thanks for the clarification, Dipsy. I mean, we were talking about the mattresses and tires at the access roads. I thought somebody was trying to block the roads. He said no, they're out there clearing the land, to get out and start building the pipeline and all that. I guess that's people that have dumped all this stuff out there in the middle of nowhere, tires and mattresses, all out there. Okay, that makes sense. Let me see here. Lauren Weiss, two-time world champion bull hauler.
Morning, Steve. How are you?
What's been happening?
Oh, not a whole lot. We're just back out trucking again tonight. Encountered the DOT down the road there. They had their big old bright lights like they used for working on highways at night out there pulling trucks over. And one of them guys was waving at me when I went by, and I just tooted my horn at him and kept going. So I don't know what he was wanting, but they're set up there in Mankato, Minnesota.
Was he wanting to pull you over for an inspection?
I don't know, either that or maybe he just realized he was seeing the two-time world champion bull hauler and was waving at me. I don't know, but I didn't slow down to see what he wanted. That's for sure.
Okay.
I figure if they're that dedicated to it, they'll come out. They'll come come get me, and I never did see him. So
okay.
Hey, I wanted to comment on what you read on those polls on Donald Trump, and Knucklebuster kind of brought it up a little bit. But I talked to a lot of people that had voted for him the first time that probably that they're not real big fans of him now, and a lot of it's because of his attitude towards things and towards other people, you know, and they like his policies, and I don't think that he can tone it down, but if he doesn't tone it down, I don't think he's going to get the support he's going to need. And if the Republicans are to put him up there, I really believe that he could be embarrassed by Joe Biden again. I hate to say that, but there's just a lot of people that are turned off by him, and a lot of the ones I talked to, it's not the January 6th thing. It's the way he treated Mike Pence during that deal that they don't like, and so I don't know. I would vote for him if he ran again in a heartbeat, but I think he's lost a lot of his base that he had that helped get him elected, and that was the thing. A lot of people that I talked to that had been independents that ended up voting for Joe Biden, it wasn't so much Joe Biden as it was they just didn't like Trump's attitude.
So that was kind of the same question I was asking. Is it the I don't care who it is, but it ain't going to be Trump? Is that's kind of the mentality?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not. And these are people that supported him the first time that didn't vote for him the second time, and it was just mainly because of you know, he's real thin-skinned. I mean, like this thing like Knucklebuster just mentioned with this woman here. You gotta drop it. You gotta drop the election crap. You gotta just drop all that and get focused on winning the election. I do see a showdown coming between him and DeSantis, and I think if DeSantis could stand up to him, he can win a lot of favoritism. And I think DeSantis could possibly, you know, make a good Republican candidate to come in and run a lot less chaotic campaign and a lot less. There's just a lot of chaos involved with Donald Trump, and that's a good thing because it allowed him to stand up to all these investigations. One example that I thought really showed his toughness was that whole Brett Kavanaugh thing, because most any other president would have pulled Kavanaugh's nomination on the Supreme Court, and Donald Trump didn't do that. And I like him for that, but outside of it, like I said, a lot of people that I talk to that get honest with me, they're real turned off by his attitude, and they won't vote for him again.
Well, so I mean, I guess my next question was, I mean, maybe you answered it there. I mean, do you ask them who they'd rather have running if Trump were not? Yeah. Would it be DeSantis?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are I would say they're interested in DeSantis. I'll give you a good example. One of our barn managers from Ellsworth, Iowa, and his wife were in line to go to that Trump rally in Des Moines that got canceled, and they had some tornado watches in the area. DeSantis was in the state that day touring around, and they canceled that Trump rally at the last minute. But this guy told me that there wasn't a whole lot of people that were there to go to it, and he didn't think it was the weather that deterred him, and he was kind of surprised at the smallness of the crowd for that rally. So he doesn't know if that was really the reason why they canceled it or not. But a lot of people he talked to that were in line said that if Trump didn't get the nomination, they sure were interested in DeSantis. So,
okay.
You know, and that's where it's at. Like I said, I would support Donald Trump again, but I'm also getting to a point where at some point we need to either decide, everybody needs to decide to be all in on him, or tell him to move on so we can get a candidate. Because really, right now, Steve, like you said, it'd be a shame to see him come in and get beat by the likes of Joe Biden.
Wow, yeah, Lord have mercy.
Really
yeah.
You know, and that would be a testimony of the downgrading of our country, in my opinion, if that's the only hope that people had. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But I think that poll you were reading is probably right.
May be correct. Okay. All right. That's the question.
Based on who I'm talking to.
I got you. Yep. You're out there in the mainstream. I mean, and you're out there in the heartland of the country, too.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, before I split, give an update on my hot blonde wife. She saw her doctor today, and she's going to be off her T-Rex arms restrictions at the end of the week, and she'll be able to drive her car again for the first time since April 2nd. So she's looking forward to that and kind of starting to get back into the routine of everything. And she's been doing some of her business appointments at home. She's kind of started getting her business going again, and she's had people come to her because she's got a lot of bags she has to move when she goes and does appointments and that. She's not into doing a lot of lifting right now, but she's getting a lot better, and it's been a real blessing that they got all that right away, and so many other people get cancer and have to fight it and go through a long process.
Yes.
We've been really, really blessed in where she's at with it right now. They did tell her, though, her doctor said that he recommends she get a colonoscopy because he's finding this oncologist that she visited. I don't know if I posted this or not, but he's done a lot of research, and there's a lot of coalition with women that get breast cancer. Then they're more susceptible for some reason to getting colon cancer. So
wow.
He's gonna ever get a colonoscopy, and then she had a hysterectomy. My wife did 6 years ago, and she had a tumor on one of her ovaries. When they took it all out, she had what they were calling cancerous cells that hadn't turned to cancer yet. So we're kind of getting the idea that she might be kind of primed for that. So she's gonna keep getting it checked out and get that colonoscopy. But yeah, we really, really feel blessed that it wasn't. They got everything, and she's been recovering as fast as she has. Been pretty amazing. So we thank everybody for the support that they give out there, and I'm looking forward to hearing Gilligan back out here again too. I heard he got a good report.
All right, yeah. Well, that's good news, and I appreciate the update, and I'm sure she'll be happy to be able to get back out on her own and drive the vehicle.
Yes, sir. Yeah, our son graduated college, and he's working in town there at the job that hired him, and he's staying with us right now so he can get some money saved up to move out. And so he's there to help her out. But I pretty much got out. This is my first real week. I'll be out past this weekend and probably Memorial Day. So this is the longest I will have stayed out since I was home helping her. But she pretty much had everything set up at home that she can get to. I mean, as of right now, she can't open up the refrigerator and really reach up much past the produce drawer,
Wow.
And so it's kind of limited on stuff, and she could take stuff if she's careful. She can pull it out of the washing machine, and we've got a front load dryer, but she got to be real careful at how heavy the clothes are that she pulls out of there. So, and she'll have to work into it when she gets back to where she's done on that arm restriction again too. So.
Well, as
That's
they say,
all I got tonight, Steve.
one step at a time, one day at a time. And yeah, thank you for the update there, Lauren Weiss, two-time world champion bull hauler.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Diesel fuel cetane levels.
in many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regeneration. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, Fine Farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Jeans aren't one size fits all. Your seats shouldn't be either. That's the idea behind Bostrom's Wide Ride. It's the future of seating comfort. The Wide Ride features a 23-inch wide seat cushion and backrest, flex mat cushion support system, full lever recline, and front and rear cushion tilt on Bostrom's premium suspension system, allowing you to find your perfect fit. Optional features include a seat heater and a new innovative smart seat memory. With the flip of a switch, your seat can be a help and not a hindrance, allowing you to get in and out of your cab with ease. The premium foam is what makes the wide ride seat the perfect fit. It's designed to work for drivers of all shapes and sizes, and each seat is custom built right here in the USA. It's the smart seat choice. Go to BostromSeating.com now and find ultimate comfort for the open road with the wide ride from Bostrom.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
All right, let me see what's going on with the Scarecrow here on a Thursday. Good morning.
Well, a couple months back, Steve, when we heard that Biden's approval rating was 30+%, I thought, who the hell is this group that would approve of his performance?
I recall.
Well, certainly not working class America. Those on the dole, no doubt, but and back then, and even I think it'll even probably grow the anti-Trump, the vote against Trump, as we've just been talking about now. That will be his downfall. You know, it just is. He's dug his own grave with his approach and attitude that I'm really doubting that he can overcome what he's done to himself so far.
So the big question is going to be when the primary vote comes around. If he wins the primary, then you're pretty much stuck with him on the ballot against maybe Biden if he's. And I don't think he's going to be able to make it to 24. But whoever the Democrat's going to be, I mean, if it's going to be the anti-Trump vote. Regardless, if it's Biden, if it's Kamala, I guess those people are going to vote for whoever, just not Trump.
Oh, exactly. And and the Dems, they're just like the Republicans. There's going to be a certain percentage that always vote, that direction anyway.
Right.
So, but no, it'll be an entertaining year and a half, or whatever. But no, we. The come on in sign was out at the La Crosse scale when I left last night in the Arrow, but I thought this was kind of strange because the bright yard lights weren't on, and they always light up pretty significant if the action there, but then I got the stay away sign, so we kept it rolling. But it's funny, that scale, it's maybe 5 or 6 years old now. I was in there once the first week it opened, and at night it is never ever open. So I could bite my words there. But so anyway, it was good to hear early callers early on. Let's see, who was our first caller? Grump. That's right,
Grump.
We talked about that. A couple weeks back. We missing a few callers lately, and it's good to hear him because he can fill a segment and it's never dry, So glad to hear you there, Grump. You mentioned about phone calls and, the robocalls and whatnot. I'll frequently get a 608, our area code. But my brother, yes, he actually received a call from his own number. That's what it came up on the ID a couple of years back. So yes, it will happen out there. You got, just throwing a few things out here now. You got the good bill of health there. Okay, now that sounds good. My last stress test, in fact, the last 2 stress tests, they say, yeah, you're doing well. I really like those numbers. Your personal physician is really going to appreciate that. You're doing well, and then it'll trail off for an individual of your age. Well, thank you. And then the adventures of probing in no man's land. That too I've had done a couple times, Steve. But sucking that juice down. The first half jug, it's tolerable. The last half, oh man, it's forcing it down. But the actual event, I don't know. They give me a little gas, I think, both times. And my bride, she was with the first time when I came out of recovery, and I vaguely remember conversations and such, but she says I had everybody rolling on the floor laughing for apparently the comments that I was making to the staff and such, that both humorous and embarrassing to her. So, but either way, maybe they got that to look forward to also.
Well, when I had my first dump when I was 50 years old, when I had the first, I do recall still lying there in the recovery room, and I asked, my wife was there. I said, when is the doctor supposed to come in and talk to us? And she said, he already did. You talked to him. And I had no recollection of even speaking to the guy. So, yeah, that little laughing gas or whatever it is, you're not fully asleep, but you're kind of in la-la land. All right, Scarecrow, hey, we got to cut it there because the clock says we got to get out the door and trudge on through a Thursday. But we'll come back at the midnight hour tonight, Eastern Time, and do it again for a Friday edition of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
Never guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that world that I dream of. Oh, don't before you go, 'cause I can't face this day alone.